Here's what people are doing differently to scale Facebook lead ads from 0 to 7 figures. Me and my team have spent millions on Meta ads, and we're deep in the trenches generating leads for businesses in high-ticket niches like home improvement and insurance. We know exactly what it takes to turn clicks into customers that spend thousands of dollars. And it often means doing the exact opposite of what many experts claim is the best way to scale your ads. In this video, I'll share the 5 most important steps for generating $100,000 in sales per month without wasting money on lead generation campaigns that are destined to fail. Each of these steps build on each other, so make sure you grab a pen to make notes for all 5 steps. Imagine this. Your name's Tom. You sell top-of-the-range pool deck pavers that your customers love. But there's a problem. You're not getting enough leads and your sales are stuck. To try and fix this, you launch a Facebook ad campaign. The way you see it, you have to invest money to make money. So ads are the perfect way to grow your business. But after 5 days, you check your results. $1,000 spent, 34 leads, 0 sales. Sound familiar? It's something we see a lot, too often in fact. But the good news is Tom's story doesn't have to end there. In fact, armed with these 5 strategies, this can be the first step to generating many thousands of dollars in sales. First though, we need to understand where Tom went wrong so that we don't repeat the same mistakes. When Tom set up his first Facebook ad campaign, he did what most people do. He picked some interests he thought his customers might have, created a lead ad and hit publish. At first, things looked okay. People were clicking, the ad was getting likes, and Tom felt pretty good about things. But as the days went on, his optimism began to fade. His ad spend was going up, but the leads, they were garbage. Half the time, nobody picked up the phone, and when they did, most didn't even remember signing up. So what went wrong here? Well, Tom made the mistake many new advertisers make. He focused on getting his ads out fast without truly understanding how Facebook works right now. To get to over $100,000 in sales per month, Tom needs leads who are already pre-sold on his products. But what he doesn't realize is that strategies that worked even a year ago might cost him serious money today. So let's look at step number 1 Tom needs to put into action. Personalization. Personalizing ads is more important for sales than it's ever been, but the most effective way to target potential buyers has changed a lot over the last few years. In the past, targeting people with very niche interests like this DIY website with 10,000 followers may have been an effective way to find a very specific type of person to sell your product to. But these days, it's more likely to fail than succeed. Facebook's algorithm performs better with broader targeting, like the roughly 20 million people interested in home construction. It's less a case of restricting Facebook to a very specific type of audience and more about nudging the algorithm in the right direction and letting it find your ideal buyer within that audience. See, now more than ever, the secret to successful targeting comes from the words you use in your writing and videos. This means instead of making an ad aimed at, say, all US-based homeowners, you may have more success narrowing the focus of your ads to a very specific segment of your audience, such as Florida residents over the age of 50. See, by creating ads that are very clearly aimed at one very specific group of people, you're guiding Facebook towards them without needing to get hyper-specific in your initial audience creation. And when you have multiple possible audiences, make a series of ads aimed specifically at each type of person who may be interested in your offer. More than ever, the Facebook algorithm rewards ads that tell a story, spark emotion, and provide real value to people. And a highly effective way to do this is by getting very specific in the type of person your ad speaks to. Side note. While you might be inclined to think video is king because of the massive influence of TikTok on social media, don't make the mistake of underestimating the power of static images. They're still super powerful for Facebook ads when done right, and they're the best tool for figuring out messaging that drives your audience to buy. I'm going to dive into how you can craft the perfect lead generation ad a little later, but for now, let's look at a mistake we see many new advertisers make: choosing the wrong kind of lead campaign for generating consistent sales. Tom's sitting at his computer, eager to generate a steady flow of new customers, but he's stuck. The ads manager gives him a huge choice of lead generation objectives, and he has no clue which one to pick. Instant forms, calls, messenger. He starts researching each option, trying to make sense of it all. But the more he reads, the more confused he gets. Maybe because intuitively he senses that each different option generates massively different results. Instant forms are famous for generating a ton of leads that rarely turn into sales, which is exactly what happened the first time Tom used this option. Then there's calls. Tom gets excited at the idea of getting a bunch of inquiries about his new range of pavers, but is this a realistic hope? As Tom hovers over each option, he starts to sense that this choice could make or break his entire campaign. So what should Tom really be choosing? For maximum profits, there's really only one option, which Facebook calls website. See, to get high quality leads, we find time and time again that you must give your prospects a little bit of work to do before signing up. One effective way of doing this is sending your leads to a landing page that uses the same messaging you've used in your ads. Treat this page like an extension of your ad, a place where you can sprinkle in some extra benefits, beautiful images and helpful videos to inspire and guide people towards buying your product. After all, Tom's selling luxury pavers that will cost his customers several $1,000s. So it's natural that for them to be ready to make such a big purchase, they need reassurance that Tom has the solution they're looking for. With a deep breath, Tom clicks on website. He doesn't know it yet, but he's just taken a big step towards generating a steady flow of new sales that will eventually get him to 7 figures. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. For now, it's time for a step that Tom can't afford to skip: creating ads that prime his audience to buy. Tom stares at the blank ad creator, feeling the pressure to make his ads stand out. He starts jotting down ideas, product features, offers, slogans, but nothing feels special. How can he grab his ideal buyer's attention when people scroll through so much social media content every single day? Then Tom remembers something about storytelling in ads. One strategy he'd learned was to use the hero's journey, with the customer as the hero and the product solving their problem. So he comes up with a plan. He'll make a list of his target audience's probable pain points and create multiple ads, each focusing on just one of their problems at a time. Then he'll compare his ads to see which pain point got the most engagement, leads, and sales. To get a copy of this framework, type cheat sheet in the comments. Now, as he writes his first ad, Tom focuses on the journey from problem to solution. He starts by describing someone who looks like his ideal buyer, suffering from a common problem to his audience. Then he introduces his product as the fix and shows how good life became after using it. Keeping things simple, Tom avoids fancy words and complicated explanations and uses clear language that speaks to his audience's needs. As he finishes, Tom feels excited and nervous. Would this actually work? With a deep breath, he hits publish. His ads are now live on Facebook, and he waits anxiously, hoping his ad will reach the right people and finally deliver some much needed sales. But he was about to learn that in Facebook advertising, writing great ads is only one of the 5 important steps to generating life-changing profits. Tom's campaign has only been running for a few days, but he already wants more sales. His finger hovers over the increase budget button, but was he about to make a mistake he'd soon regret? Was now really the time to spend more? Right now, his overall campaign is losing money, but one of his ads seems to be profitable. So what should he do? Increase the budget for all his ads and hope the other ads generate more sales over the next few days? Or pause and rethink his strategy? Tom then remembers something important. You often only need 2,000 to 4,000 impressions to judge an individual ad. So he checks his stats. All the ads in his new campaign are well past that mark. So what next? Taking a deep breath, Tom makes his decision. He isn't going to spend money on ads that aren't delivering the profits he needs. Instead, he's going to focus on creating more ads that really connect with his audience's fears and needs. This will almost certainly lead to better sales. As he closes his computer, Tom feels relieved but determined. He's happy he managed to put together at least one profitable ad, but if he's going to make hundreds of thousands of dollars in sales, he knows he needs to create more ads. And once he's done that, he knows he needs to figure out which ad data matters and what he can mostly ignore. After launching a series of ads and carefully going through the process of killing the ads that didn't generate sales and keeping any that did, Tom sits at his desk, eyes glazed over as he scrolls through Facebook's analytics dashboard. Reach, views, frequency, impressions, link clicks, so much data. But what did it all mean? Tom had been so focused on getting his ads out there, he hadn't really thought about how to look for signs his ads were going to be profitable within the data he had on the screen in front of him. So, for the first time, he takes a long, hard look at the metrics he's heard other advertisers talk about. Cost per 1,000 impressions and cost per click catch his eye first. His costs seem pretty low, which had to be good, right? But as he digs deeper, a nagging doubt creeps in. Do cheap impressions always translate into more sales? His click-through rate also looked pretty good. People seemed to be interested in his ad. But then he remembered something else he'd heard. Clicks don't pay the bills. So Tom returns his focus to the metric that he felt was the only thing that really mattered. Return on ad spend, or ROAS. This number shows how much revenue he was generating for every dollar spent on ads. As he looks at his data, Tom comes to a shocking realization. Many of his ads with the highest CPMs and the most expensive clicks are generating the biggest profits. Tom sat back in his chair, mind reeling from this revelation. It went against everything he'd heard other people say about Facebook ads. He realized he'd been looking at his ad performance all wrong. It wasn't about getting the cheapest clicks or the most impressions. It was about getting his ads in front of the right people with the right message. And sometimes that meant paying more for clicks and impressions. Armed with this new understanding, Tom felt a surge of confidence in his ability to generate more sales. But as he closed his ads manager, a new challenge loomed ahead. How to turn these insights into a strategy that would drive the profits he needed. Tom was ready for his final challenge, turning clicks into thousands of dollars in sales. As Tom looked into his screen, he saw something surprising that happened multiple times. High click-through rates, but disappointing sales numbers. He figured out that at times lots of clicks meant his ads were setting false expectations. People were clicking, yes, but they were the wrong kind of people. They either didn't sign up at all, or they'd sign up asking silly questions that made it clear they were never going to turn into customers. Tom knew he had to fix this problem. He started by turning off the ads that generated clicks, but no sales. Then he made new campaigns inspired by the ads that were generating sales. Next, he tweaked his ad copy and landing page messaging to really hammer home the benefits of his products and address the doubts that his winning ads highlighted. But Tom didn't stop there. He then set up a simple follow-up email sequence inspired by his best converting ad copy to keep nudging people towards buying, even if they weren't ready to buy straight away. With a mix of hope and worry, Tom launched his new and improved funnel. The first few hours were nerve-wracking. He kept checking his dashboard, but nothing was happening. A few days passed, and just when he was about to give up, his phone buzzed. A sale. Then another, and another. Tom couldn't believe it, but by focusing on the whole customer journey, not just getting a ton of worthless clicks, he'd finally started to see some real success. As the sales notifications kept coming in, Tom realized he'd taken a huge step forward. He'd learned that selling online was about really understanding his customers, reassuring them he had the solution they needed, and guiding them every step of the way. Tom knew he still had a lot to learn, but he was on the right track. And with each new sale, he felt more and more confident that he was building something that would finally set him on the path to 7 figures. Now, it's important to remember that everyone who you see crushing it with Facebook ads today began right where you are. They failed, learned, tested some more, and got better over time. And now it's your turn to put the lessons Tom learned into action. Now, don't worry if your results aren't perfect at first. That's totally normal. See each new campaign you run as a chance to learn and improve. So go ahead and set up that next campaign. It's the only way to get truly skilled at Facebook advertising. Next up, you may want to learn the 3 tweaks we use to cut Facebook ad costs, where I'll show you the strategies top advertisers are using right now to generate thousands of dollars in monthly sales without wasting money on outdated tactics. Click here to watch it now. I'll see you there.